Welcome, everybody. So, once again, it is going to be me that you are seeing instead of my Fruity Loops. You know, it'll just be me. So, before I begin, can everybody hear me? Can everybody hear what I'm saying? Can I just see there in the comments? If you can hear what I'm saying right now, just comment yes. Right. In the meantime, peace to everyone who just joined. Refugio Nicolas Ranteko, shout out to Boroto Bakery for sponsoring episode 48 of Sotra Cyphers and episode 49 dropping on Monday. Shout out. For those of you who are not aware of what I am doing here today, I will be giving a breakdown of the Sotra Cyphers exclusive featuring Touchline. Yo, I've been trying to get Touchline on Sotra Cyphers for the last 2 years, probably. If I remember correctly, either the beginning of 2020 or beginning of 2021. Nah, it was 2020. Yeah. DM'd him on Twitter, and then for a moment it was about to happen, and then it didn't happen, and then we lost contact, and then eventually I managed to lock him down. The beat that he eventually jumped on, it wasn't the first beat that I gave him to jump on. I think I sent him 2 beats before for him to jump on, and then he was like, let's try something else, and then a brief that he gave me was just something more modern, and that's when he had me like reaching for my ish. Yeah, so took me a minute. It took me a minute because if you are familiar with my production style, then you know that this was some out of the box, not my usual style of making beats, but after listening to a few joints, I eventually got in the bag and nailed it, I think. Let's get it popping. Again, I have to apologize because in Share It Easy, the whole screen sharing, I had it and then I lost it again. It's difficult. I even went on YouTube to see, to try and get and nail it and learn how to do it. I got it right, but then, when it was time for me to go live, the go live button is grayed out. So I had to now exit that screen sharing option and then go live without it. So, like Zuckerberg, man, what's going on, bro? You're sabotaging me, man. People are tired of looking at my face during these lives, player. So with the beat, again, I can't remember the exact order of what I added. But so I'll start with the sample that I used. So I didn't use any specific sample from a song. I just went on YouTube and searched royalty-free guitar samples. I found one, and the sample that I ended up finding that I found on YouTube. Hold on, I'll play it for you now. I chopped it like heavily, heavily, to the point where you only hear like a few seconds of it at a time, right? So this is the sample as it sounds, right? The sample that I got. Right? Sounds like this. I found it on YouTube. I forgot who it's from. So, my bad. Right, this is what it sounds like. Right? Can you guys hear that? I'll play it again. Right? So what I did was, first and foremost, I took down the pitch. That's like my go-to trick whenever I sample, is I take down the pitch of the sample, just to try and I don't know, move away from the original sample as much as I can. So I took down the pitch, and then I hoed in some effects. The effects that I hoed in was I hoed in 2 parametric EQs, fruity limiter, and fruity delay. Delay is echo, right? So pitched it down, and then I chopped it. So instead of playing the entire sample as it is, I played, like, I took a few seconds from each part and then played that with every beat count, right? So this is what I ended up with, right? Right? Right. So it's that same sample. This one. Tweety. You hear that tweety? That's the part that you hear that go. Tweety. Right? Pitch down, and yeah, that's how we got to that. Cool. And then like I said, I did a lot of listening to like trap beats and stuff like that. Like that kind of sound, that modern that modern sound with the 808s and whatever. And one of the things that I picked up is that what they'll sometimes do is they'll have like but this is something that I've been doing in my own productions for a while, where it's just like a loop of a melody, a quick melody, and then you just loop it. So what I did was I opened up this plugin on Fruity called Toxic Biohazard. I've been using this plugin since I was a teenager. Yeah. So to this day, I'm still using it. It comes with Fruity. It's called Toxic Biohazard. And then the what you call, man, the setting that I went to was a setting called Master Keys. So I went there, and then I played a melody like this, right? Right? Simple. That's it. It's a loop, and it plays like that throughout the entire beat, right? And then what I did was because I mean that's the melody, but I don't want it to sound like that. So that's when I hoed in the plugins. So I hoed in once again two fruity parametric EQs and reverb. So I cut out the high end and some of the low end as well, and gooide in mad reverb. So it went from sounding like this to sounding like this, right? So it's right. Right? Cool. And that's pretty much when I made the beat. That was going to be like, yeah, that was my guide, melody wise. It's not complicated. It's simple. So yeah, took that and basically ran with it. Then all the other stuff. Well, let me start with. Let me see. Let me see. Let me start with the percussion. So I the drum kit that I used was let me start with the kick. So what I usually use for my drum kits is a plugin called Drum Pro. Right, I use it for most, if not all, my beats. That's if I'm not sampling the drum kit from another drum loop or whatever. That's the plugin that's like my go-to plugin. And it's so dope. Like it has like a trap presets and boom bap presets. So obviously for this one, I went for the trap presets. And the funny thing is, I sometimes use the trap presets when I make boom bap beats as well. So doesn't now mean you have to now only go with whatever it says. You can do whatever you want, just like I did. All right, so the kick, starting with the kick there. Right, right, and then yes. So it's the kick, and then the snare I got from one of the mini packs that I have. It's from a loop, so I just played around with it, chopped it up, and added it with the kick, coupled it with the kick, and this is what I get. Oh. Right. So let me play you the rim shot loop on its own. So you hear how it sounded before I chopped it up. Right. So this is how it sounds. Unique. So this is how it sounds originally, right? It's you probably recognize it from the beat that I made for Mrecha, for the Shoot the Messenger EP on Mrecha Cristo. Yeah, that's the same loop that I use there. So for this beat, I pitched it down, all the way down, chopped it up, and then that's how we got to right. And then next, I added a large, like 808 drum, right? And the inspiration for that was from a J. Cole song. J. Cole song called The Climb Back, which I consider now to be my all-time favorite J. Cole joint ever, because it's fire, right? So I reinforced the kick when it gets to this part here. Just a second. when it gets to this part here, right? Right? So I reinforced that with a low 808, just angry, kick. So, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it sounds like an earthquake, son. It's like, yeah. So it's the kick with the snare, right? Yeah, that was inspired by the Climb Back. If you listen to the drums on the Climb Back, produced by J. Cole himself, they are bananas. Bananas. Shout out to everyone who just joined. Sbusiso Pengu. Leighton, shout out my chief Manolo Black, shout out. Tuzi, British Pound, Jail, shout out. Nkosiamatikis, shout out. All right. Chuck Mola, shout out. Cool. Moving right along. So from there, let me see what else I added. Yeah, so I added another kick just to reinforce the main kick. And this is also from the many packs that I have. It's just labeled N1K3. I don't know what that means, but yeah, that's what it says. So now it's the kick and the snare, and then also added the hi-hat. What I did was with the hi-hats, I played around with what is called a damn it. Tell you now. Automation, right? So automation is basically just controlling the levels of the sample or whatever as the song, as the beat plays. So instead of the hi-hats just playing like this nonstop, I automated the gross beat plugin and the flanger plugin, right? So it alternates between sounding like this to then sounding like this every now and a while, right? Right. So when it goes, right, that's the flanger dipping in and out due to the automation that I set up there. I wish I could show you, but apologies, man. All right. So yeah, that's how that sounds. Let me play that with the kick and the snare and the sample. So far, this is how we're sounding, right? Right. Cool. Right. And then what I also added was I went and added another toxic biohazard built-in plugin that comes with Fruity, and selected a preset called Musical TOTC. I'm not going to pronounce that. And added a Fruity limiter and reverb. And this is what I played. Right. So that just adds to the overall like atmosphere, if you will, So it's right? Right? And what's this now? Yeah. And then I added cymbal, which is this sound right here. Right? And then I also added, what is this? Yeah. Sounds like a knock, right? But it's a sample that's called click. And what I did there, I just pitched it a little bit. And then yeah, that's how we got to that. And then lastly, go back here. I went on to another toxic biohazard plugin and then just messed around with a whole bunch of effects there. I can't remember the exact preset that I chose, but I hoid a lot of plugins there to make it sound as weird as I could. So I have Parametric EQ2 once again, reverb, stereo enhancer, and this plugin called Hardcore that I always add whenever I'm trying to sound as weird as I possibly can. So I have that, and then I also automated it to fade in and out as the beat progresses. So this is what it sounds like. Right? And then it fades out. That's the automation. So every 8 bars it comes back. Right? Cool. And that is the 8-bar loop. If you guys remember, with Sotra Cypher beats, I work in 8-bar increments. So it'll be an 8-bar, the beat will sound a certain way, and then the next 8 bars, I'll add something else. And yeah, for this beat, I went with adding the bass, right? Right. So I went with adding the bass, and this is how I played the bass. First of all, let me just play the first 8 with everything thrown in there. Oh, one last thing that I forgot to mention that I added is the snare roll that I add at the end of each 8-bar increment. So this is what it sounds like. Yeah. So you hear that every 8 bars, right? On the 8th bar, that's where you hear that cut, right? So this is the first 8 bars of the beat. Right? And then when it gets to the next 8, that's when I added the bass. And that's basically like the last thing that I added to the beat. And that's how the loop is. So the bass that I played there is from a plugin called Hypersonic. Again, a plugin that I use on most of my beats. And yeah, I mostly use it for the bass, just like I did here. And this is how I played the bass. Hey. So that's the next 8 bars of the beat. So the beat is is it's a 16 split into 2 8, right? And the last 8 just has an added bass to it. And that's the beat. That's the beat looped over. And then Touchline came in and did his thing, right? So let me play the beat for you as a 16 bar loop. Oops. Hey. Back to right? And that's the beat. That's the beat, y'all. And then Touchline came in.
SPeeKa, it's it. Yeah.
More money.
More problems, more honeys, more options. The cash gotta come in 4 boxes. Drop it off at my office. Mommy stay fly. Who locked her up in the carpet? The whole thing's a job like 50 season of hospital.
All right. Once again, man, peace to Touchline. Like 2 years I've been trying to get this guy on Disotwa Cyphers, and he eventually obliged. And yeah, that is the Touchline Sotwa Cyphers exclusive beat, right? So you can, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. For more content, more work, check out my YouTube channel, SPeeKa RSA. Got Sotwa Cyphers episodes loading there every now and then, as often as I possibly can, because getting a hold of dope rappers is hard. It's hard, bro. It's hard. Right. Otherwise, it's been real, y'all. Peace.